Some of these things were displayed. We have a video on that is coming out for you to see. So a lot of independence conversation tonight. Are they ready? Oh, all right. We'll take our commercial break first. Let's get a commercial break out of the way. When we come back, we are on the highway. Ghana is the name, Ghana. We wish to proclaim, we'll be happy, merry, and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day. That song was made by a Jamaican. There's a bit of history about that. Nkrumah writes about how that song came about and all of that. And also tonight, we are going to celebrate, as we celebrate Ghana's Independence Day, we're going to celebrate Moses Foh, spelled F-O-H, Amoanin. Or if you like, you can call him Abeku. Moses Foh Amoanin is a distinguished Ghanaian lawyer, advocate, lecturer, teacher, sports journalist, sports enthusiast, president of the Ghana Boxing Association, the key advocate of the anti-LGBT bill that has just now been passed by Parliament. Brother Moses celebrated his birthday recently, his 60th birthday. We thought Moses was 100. He's only 60. Wow, that's nice. That's interesting. It was gratifying to know. When you see such big brains, and I'm happy that they are sharing some of these photographs with me. Thank you very much, producer. When you see such big brains like Moses Foh Amoanin, and you are told that he's only 60 years old, you get very excited. This is Moses Foh Amoanin and Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia. At Moses Foh Amoanin's recently held birthday, just about a week ago, Dr. Bawumia was the headline. Dr. Bawumia spoke at the birthday, and if you're looking at this photograph, you're looking at two brigade boys. You're looking at two brigade boys. You know, Methodist Church, they have the boys brigade. Dr. Bawumia went to the Boys Brigade. He said that many, many times. Moses Foh Amoanin is current president of the Boys Brigade. So I'm going to show you what Moses Foh Amoanin said at Dr. Bawumia, what Dr. Bawumia said at Moses Foh Amoanin's 60th birthday. Now, that is the whole line of people who were there. You can see in there the Attorney General, Godfrey Dame, Moses' son and daughter, and the Methodist Church people, the Boys Brigade people. All of them were there to celebrate Brother Foh, as they call him, to celebrate Brother Foh's 60th. Wait for that. It's coming. What I want you to watch about that is what Dr. Bawumia said. So let's take our break. I think our people are ready, but let's get the break out of the way. The break is about 7 minutes long. When we come back, we're ready for a full independence conversation, including the 60th anniversary of Moses Foh Amoanin. Ghana is the name, Ghana. We wish to proclaim, we'll be happy, merry, and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day. Stay tuned. I'm coming back.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the partial daily jackpot. You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The Pacho Bantama.
Matasi.
A smile, the fresh breath.
Me Gidi say we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasan. Cal 360 better way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will so feeling to Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome
to help your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
For over 20 years of serving the world with herbal and alternative medicine, we've been successful in treating complicated medical conditions with a perfect combination of herbal and alternative methods of treatment, like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness, so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication. Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go Amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi. God is the He.
Customer. Tengana.
10 Ghana cedis.
No dia, send now benya.
10 Ghana cedis no. Me dia. 54,000 Ghana cedis.
54,000.
540 million.
Here. We are the one on the camera.
Yeah. And then I get it now. Now boki. Draw no na assassin. Mami ni volume.
Customer, one of our daily lucky winners. Dial *946# to play now. Or you can also play online at www.gamepackgames.com. Game Park is regulated by the National Lottery Authority.
Okay.
Sixth of March 1957, when the Go-Go successfully get their independence officially. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day. Nkrumah went on his way to make the Gold Coast what it is today. He endeavored continually to bring us freedom and
oh, Ghana, Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. Gentlemen, we are ready for it now. Thank you very much for your attention and time. This is Good Evening Ghana's very special edition for Ghana's 67th Independence Day celebration. Here we go.
This day will never be forgotten. The 6th of March 1957, when the Gold Coast successfully get their independence officially. Ghana, Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day.
The battle has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever.
He endeavored continually to bring us freedom and liberty. Ghana.
The Progress Party supports wholeheartedly a policy for the Ghananization of the economy of Ghana.
The national flag is a lovely scene with beautiful colors, red, gold, and green.
The PMP says no to scarcity. The PMP says no to indignities. The PMP says no to humiliation. The PMP says no to all that has been negative in our national life over the last 30 years.
We'll be jolly, merry and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day. Ghana, Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We'll be jolly, merry and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day. This day will never be forgotten. The 6th of March 1957, when the Gold Coast successfully get their independence officially. Ghana, Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim.
Wait a minute. When we win, I want the victory to be for every Ghanaian, no matter which party they are in.
He endeavored continually to bring us freedom and liberty. Ghana, Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day. The national flag is a lovely scene with beautiful colors, red, gold, and green. With a black star in the center, representing the freedom of Africa. Ghana, Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We'll be jolly, merry and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day.
The past 2 years or so, about 30 women, 5 women have been killed, and that's not the trace of the poultry. The police are there. God has got some very bad police, and the sense of someone with a lawyer, senior lawyer. But when it comes to the Constitution, if it comes to the Constitution, we are in a position to tell it. What the Electoral Commission is doing is in accordance with the Constitution. There's nothing wrong about it at all.
The 6th of March 1957, when the Gold Coast successfully get their independence officially. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay. The sense of March Independence Day.
From our forces, Ohopra, so many of Otumatwana, Special Command. What is that thing? Yeah, but sister, no. Wakata no, Wakata no. One machake me, one machake me, one machake me.
The national flag is a lovely scene with beautiful colors, red, gold, and green. With a black star in the center, representing the freedom of Africa.
Let everybody get up early on Sunday and go and vote. And vote for a better Ghana. Vote for a better man. Vote for prosperity for all. And vote for equal opportunities for all. And let the people of Ghana reclaim Ghana. May God bless you all. Thank you.
This day will never be forgotten. The 6th of March 1957, when the Coco successfully get their independence officially. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay. The 6th of March Independence Day.
Atami to mama and isi double double. Atami say and isi double double. To mama and isi.
Freedom and liberty. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay. The 6th of March Independence Day.
I am neither an Abudu nor an Andani. I am an Abudani.
With a black star in the center, representing the freedom of Africa. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We'll be jolly, merry and gay. The 6th of March Independence Day. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We'll be jolly, merry and gay. The 6th of March Independence Day.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot. You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
The biggest car center in Ghana, offering unparalleled round-the-clock service in autos and accessories. Nadam Autofix is the biggest distributors of used tires in Ghana, offering first-grade second-hand car tires of all rim sizes at both wholesale and retail prices. We are also the leading name in car sensor diagnostics, corrections and sales of car accessories. We excel in car washing and detailing with state-of-the-art steam engine washing machines that keep water away from your engine, ensuring a clean, healthy and responsive engine. Nadam Autofix, the first name in servicing, car accessories and car washing. Visit us today and experience the world of class difference. Find us today at Asoridaho, directly opposite Dansoman KFC and the Shell filling station. For more details, you can call us on 0503-244-266 or 0535-339823. Nado Motofix, Wukwainso Nyonko Papa.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot. You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by
anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
Repacho Bantama.
Machasi.
That's a cycle.
It's a smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Gidi said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasan. Kile Hossein. Cal 360 did the one. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will so feeling to when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
I'll take part. You, Mahamadu, Paulia.
Okay, we're settled in now after the break. I hope you liked our little dance. It will be on video on demand. We'll show it to you again and again and again. It's in the spirit of independence, so we're being transparent. The guy in my house who packs my stuff for me when I'm coming to work, I usually have a flask. And he said to me that people have been asking him what is in the flask and all that. And then he said to them that what's in the flask is this. So in the spirit of independence, this is transparent, isn't it? Okay, I know that even if I show, people are going to ask that. Yeah, we can see something like orange or pineapple juice. What have you mixed this with? Please, I don't know how to mix anything. Yeah, orange juice. Glory. All right. I'm so happy when it's Independence Day because Ghana is a great and righteous country. And this is the flyer that we put up today, and we are going to live up to the billing and live up to the expectation. We said you shouldn't miss this very special edition. There will be plenty of stories. There will be history. There will be dancing. And we will show that there's hope for Ghana. I put up a kente cloth, and everybody said I should sit there and take a nice photograph, And that's this flyer also went out, and I read all the comments about it. We put up Nkrumah's photograph and Dankwa's photograph. I stood a mill pointing to Nkrumah, the eventual winner. And I also wrote that there will be 3 important stories about independence drawn from the accounts of Nkrumah's biography, David Rooney's account on Nkrumah, and Dankwa's The Ghanaian Establishment. And that's all coming together right now. We'll be preparing another montage for you in terms of the heads of state that have come through to Ghana to be Ghanaian heads of state and how they have been sworn in. Okay, we begin the accounts tonight. I like the story of the Big Six, and then I'll show you something about it. We're talking independence, so permits me to be giving you the stories. Okay, so these are the Big Six, and we're going to explain to you how come they became the Big Six. And the question on this matter is, if there was a Big Seven, who would have been the seventh? I'm going to share that with you. It's a very, very interesting question. If there was a 7, who would have been the 7th? I'll show you the potential of people who could have been the 7, and then we can discuss this. It's a non-academic, non-scoring story ahead of tonight's main presentation. So let's look at it. All right. So this is Kwame Nkrumah. The next is Obechebe Lamte. We know that father of Jacob Obechebe Lamte. This is Akua who, of course, became Interior Minister for Nkrumah. So when Nkrumah broke away from the Big Six to form the CPP, he didn't break away just by himself. Later on, Akua joined him. And I think that the accounts does not always do justice to that Akua had joined Nkrumah later on. Yes, he did. Akua joined Nkrumah later on, so that the accounts can do justice to it. Okay. And then after Akua is William Oforiatta. Is that? Yes. After Akua is William Oforiatta. And after William Oforiatta is J.B. Dankwa. And after J.B. Dankwa is Edward Akufo-Addo. So these are the Big Six. Now, here's the story. How did they become the Big Six? So as we all know, the account is told of the 28th February riots. And we'll hear a lot about that tonight as we go through the history. 28th February riots had happened. These were the leaders of the UGCC. It was widely speculated by the security people, the authorities in charge of security at the time, in 1947, or was it 48? 48. Or was it 47? Please, the historians check the account for me. 28th February, I think it was 48. So, the 1948 riots, it was 48. So, I've been reading a lot of history about the independence, so I think the data mix it up in my head a little bit. But it was 48. So, these men were thought to be the leaders of they were the leaders of the UGCC, and they were thought to be the leaders and the organizers, the orchestrators of the rout. Because after the rout, Dankwa sent a telegram to London, informing London that, look, they had been routing in Ghana, the government that you have put in place, the civil government has collapsed, they cannot take any authority, so we, the Big Six, they were not Big Six then, we want to now take charge of Ghana, etc., etc. The accounts follows in the books. I'll show you all of that today. So, when the authorities felt that these Big Six were in charge of the demonstration, it was a very difficult time. It was a time to be afraid. If you were one of them, it was a time to be afraid of your future. If you are children at the time and all that, it was a time to be afraid of the future of your children. Because the colonialism situation was getting brutal. The colonial authority was feeling that the newly educated Africans who had been educated as the colonialists thought under their hand were now challenging them and trying to challenge the status quo. And they were descending on them brutally. They were grinding them out. You know what happened to Nelson Mandela in South Africa? He went to jail forever. You know what happened to Joshua Nkrumah in Zimbabwe? You know what happened to the Sam Nujoma in Namibia? So all of these things were beginning in the 1940s. They needed to clamp down on these people. So if you were found guilty of having committed a crime, it was no joke. In fact, Nkrumah went to jail, you know that. So it was a time to be afraid. We can talk about it now and be okay with it. But it was a time to be afraid. When the phone call has come to your house or your law firm that the colonial governor was looking for you at the Adabraka police station, you were in trouble. You could go to the police station, they'll deny you bail. Nothing will happen. There was no human rights anywhere. So that was the story at the time. You have to get the context to understand what these guys went through. So they were now being thought about as being the leaders of the rout that had now killed Sergeant Ajete and Corporal Atipo and others. And there was looting all over Accra. They were said to be responsible for it. So they were arrested. Or they were told, they were summoned by the police. That's where the story starts. So Dankwa was thought to be their leader. So he was the first person who was told that you and your people come to the police station. Dankwa immediately thought they needed a lawyer. The account is that they found R.S. Blay, Freddie Blay's uncle, the former Speaker of Parliament, chairman of the party, Freddie Blay's uncle, R.S. Blay. They found him as a lawyer. So they went to R.S. Blay to go and explain to him that they are being called by the police. They suspect that they are going to be held responsible for the demonstration. They will plead not guilty, but they need legal representation before the court. We're operating the British common law system, isn't it? Okay. So, somehow, they couldn't get R.S. Blay. They had gone to see him, talk to him. Something happened, they couldn't get R.S. Blay. So, Dankwa then told them that it's going to be very difficult to find a lawyer. But Blay is our lawyer, but somehow he's not available. But my in-law, my niece's husband, Akufo-Addo, is also a lawyer. Let's go to him and see. So they went to Akufo-Addo's house, a place called Betty House in Accra, in the Accra Central area. And they were in Akufo-Addo's house. So this is Akufo-Addo. So Akufo-Addo had seen his wife's uncle, who he knew very well, Dankwa, had come to him with Nkrumah and other people. These were the most important people in the country at the time. And they were concerned that they needed a lawyer. He looked at the situation. It was complicated, but Akufo-Addo said, okay, I'll do it. So they were talking with him when the police came and arrested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And carried them to the police station. Said, all of you. Akufo-Addo didn't say that, oh, I'm not inside, I'm the lawyer. I'm not part of their UGCC. I beg you, I'm just their lawyer. He said, okay, let's go. Let's go to the police station. Let's go. So all 6 had to find another lawyer because all of them had been arrested. Okay. So if there was Big 7, tell me, who would be the Big 7? Would it be R.S. Blay, whom I have mentioned, or would it be Ni Kwabena Boni? Please find his photograph. Ni Kwabena Boni. It's interesting why I mentioned Ni Kwabena Boni. Ni Kwabena Boni was the one upon whose shoulders the responsibility of chief operating officer for the Aluta was. I hope when I say Aluta, everybody can understand. The younger people and the older people. You know, back in the Commonwealth, we sang a song, Ye Aluta, Ye Aluta, Ye Aluta, JJT. JJT. That's the song we sang in Commonwealth. We call it Aluta, demonstration, routing, and all that. We call it Aluta. So Aluta Continua, I think, is a Spanish word. It was used by Che Guevara, I believe. Che Guevara had used that when he was fighting in Mozambique, in Southern Africa, in the Frelimo and Renamo War. I think that's where it came from. Aluta Continua is what Che Guevara used to say. And that's where the term Aluta came from. All right. So they were all arrested. But Ni Kwabena Boni, he is the Usualata Manche. It is Ni Kwabena Boni who had meetings with Dankwa and particularly Akwaje, who I believe was related to Ni Kwabena Boni. I think so. Akwaje and Dankwa had met with Ni Kwabena Boni, and Ni Kwabena Boni had organized the demonstration with the Osu youth. They had been a very, very powerful force in the demonstration. Kwabena Boni was gone into hiding because he knew that the police were looking for him. So he was not amongst the people that had organized the demonstration with him. So we are looking for Big 7. Should it be R.S. Blay? Should it be Nkrumah Bonny? Or interestingly, I mean, I know that this is going to annoy some people, but it's Independence Day. We are sharing jokes, so don't worry. Should it be Mrs. Akufo-Addo? Because you see, Mrs. Akufo-Addo is the reason why Dr. Dankwa thought that the lawyer should be Akufo-Addo. It's because of Mrs. Akufo-Addo. Because Mrs. Akufo-Addo was in his head as his niece, and must have phoned Mrs. Akufo-Addo or must have gotten in touch with her. This is Nkrumah Bonny. Thank you very much. Sir, we salute you. We salute everything we did for Ghana. We salute you wherever you are. We believe that we'll meet one day at the resurrection. But what you did for Ghana has not been forgotten. 67 years after the fact, we are talking about you today. Because people like you have not been spoken about. The independence has been treated as if you were not part of it. But Nkrumah Bonny, you were part of it. May your descendants prosper in this nation. Because Nkrumah Bonny set out his life for this country to be independent. And we never talk about him. We never ever talk about Nkrumah Bonny. We never say anything about him. It was him who organized 28th February. And he had to go into hiding. Because if the police found him, they probably would not even have given him a fair trial. They would have cut off his head. Because this was the tumultuous event that eventually led to Ghana's independence. Not just Ghana's independence. This was the tumultuous event that led to the deconstruction of the British colonial empire in sub-Saharan Africa. It was orchestrated. The seed was sown by this man, Nkrumah Bonny. Those days when the Alliance for Change grew up, people were saying that Nyaho Tamaklo is trying to cast himself in the mode of Nkrumah Bonny, and that's why Nyaho always wore a hat like this one. That's what people used to tease Nyaho about, that Nyaho is not Nkrumah Bonny, he should stop doing that. And then they'll tease Nyaho and they all laugh. Because of the effect of Nkrumah Bonny. So we are coming back to the Big Six now. So I'm asking the question, and you can send your text message to our social media editors. Who should be Big Seven? Should it be Nkrumah Bonny? Or should it be Mrs. Akufo-Addo? Or should it be R.S. Blay? Who should be the Big Seven? Among Kwame Nkrumah, Obecha Bilamte, Ako Adjei, William Ofori-Atta, Dr. J.B. Dankwa, and Edward Akufo-Addo. Who should be the Big Seven? Let's get an answer from all of you on that. But just as we do that, let me take the final commercial break, and then we come back and deal with the stories that we have in all the... Oh, we've taken the 2 breaks already. Okay. I'm being told that we've taken the 2 breaks already. So let me go straight to... Unless you have text messages on the introduction that we've done. Do you have some text messages? Antoinette, do you have a text message? Okay, because I'm looking for a breaker, viewers. Forgive me. I'm looking for a breaker before I get to this story. It's a very, very powerful story. Okay. All right. So let me take some text messages from you. Maybe 2 each. We start with Fatih. Everyone is asking for you. They like your dance. They're talking. They're sending me text.
Yeah,
your dance. Should I put your number out to the general public?
No.
Okay. Sorry about that. Let's hear the text message.
Okay, so John Mantis says, thank you, Paul, for this great and educative program. Solomon says it would have been Nkrumah Bonny because he initiated the burning and looting in Accra, Central of White and Lebanese shops. Now, Helios also says, good evening, Paul. Some of us like your problem and we wished you could find a radio station like Original FM to carry your program live for those who goes to work for the night so we can listen to you guys. And then lastly, Augustine also thinks it could have been Pa Grant, who would have been the 7th. Antoinette, what do you have for us?
Yes, so our viewers seems to like our video. Samuel Ofosiba says, Happy Independence Day to you, Apostle Paul, and your lovely disciples and all the beautiful people of Ghana, my beloved country. Jacob Koulibaly says, my love for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah can't be explained by words. Good evening, Ghana. God bless you all and all your viewers, even though some of them are haters. Now, Akua Dako says, this is the content we hope for as usual, watching you live from the French as the captain of this comment section. Oh, wow. Thank you very much for tuning in, Akua Dako. Clement Edujemfi is wishing Ghana a happy 67th independence anniversary. God bless Ghana and make it great and strong. And lastly, Gift Yapia says, Paul, you are a creative indeed. Your brain works indeed. What do you have for us?
Okay, so we have one more message from Richmond Asamoah,
who thinks Pa Grant would have been the 7th member of the Big Six.
Angela.
Have you read?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Okay, right. We've got Akua Dako saying this is the contents we hope for as usual, Watching you live from the French Alps. Oh, hello from the French Alps. As the captain of the comment section, she continues, anyone who misbehaves will be blocked. We've got Clement Edujemfi saying, happy 67th independence anniversary to Mother Ghana. And we have a bit of pessimism coming from Sheikh Amin Zabarma, and I don't know why, but I'll read the message. He says, I don't understand why we are celebrating, he says, so-called independence. We're still under colonial rule. Well, Sheikh, I think that that's a very, very unpatriotic thing to say, because we really should celebrate our independence. But anyway, this is his perspective. And just to sort of return to that, I'll just re-emphasize Clement's message saying, a happy 67th independence anniversary to Mother Ghana, and indeed a happy 67th independence anniversary to Mother Ghana. Back to you, Paul, if you are ready.
Oh, yes, we are ready. But we do have made in Ghana products. Please, let's have a look at what's here. Cameraman, are you with me? So we have some made in Ghana products here. These are companies that are being supported by Ghana Exim Bank. This is what? Palm oil, done in this way. Antoinette, do you like this? Have you cooked with this before? Oh, you have? So should I give to this or should I give to Fatih? Yeah, okay. We will decide. As for Kumfi there, we know it's one district, one factory, you know, so it's here. Kumfi is here. But I like this one, hibiscus infusions. That's very interesting. Hibiscus infusions. And all of these were on the exhibition today that the Deputy Minister of Finance attended. I'll show it to you in a minute as well. Okay, so what's this here? This is momoni paste. Antoinette, have you used momoni paste to cook before? Not a paste. Okay, now the paste is here, so it's easier. Okay. You see? And then they also have Kobe powder. Have you used Kobe powder before?
Not the powder.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Okay. All right. And then this one, Michael, I won't give it to you. This palm wine.
Of course, it's palm wine.
You want it? No. The alcohol is for above 18s only. You can't have it. So yeah, this palm wine, please. Yeah. Hey, my editor is looking. Do you want it? Come for it. Just come for it. Come in. You don't want your friends to see that you took alcohol on TV. Okay, you come for it. But don't drink it right now, otherwise your typing can get... Please film her. Let them see. So that's the lady who... Do you know what she does? She's the timer. She's telling me that you are speaking for 15 minutes, you are speaking for 20 minutes, and then she's shouting on me that it's okay, stop that. That's her work. That's why she's sitting there quietly. She shouldn't take the palm wine now. No, she shouldn't. If she does, there'll be a problem. Okay, let's get back to business now. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah writes in his autobiography about the Independence Day and the events about it. Very interesting narrative. Pages 281 to 287. Thank you for putting this there for me, producer. Let's get to the narrative and see what the Osajifo is saying. So this is a conversation. Most of what is captured in the Osajifo commentary is a conversation between himself and Sir Noble Arden Clark, who was the governor at the time, the highest colonial authority, the governor at the time here in Ghana, was Sir Charles Noble Arden Clark. And this is Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the prime minister, the leader of government business, becoming prime minister. And this account is given by Nkrumah in his book, the day that the British colonial authority in the British Parliament told us that we are going to have independence on 6th of March. I've had this conversation with a few people. When we watched the BBC documentary, the video that we've showed you today, that says, at long last, the battle has ended in Ghana. It's not a declaration of independence at all. It was a political rally of the CPP. Recently, I interviewed Cameron Dodo in 2017. Cameron Dodo is almost 90 years old. He's a journalist in 2017, and Cameron Dodo said that he was there that day, and he confirmed that it was a CPP rally. It was a rally that occurred after the closing of the existing parliament on the 5th of March. Dr. Nkrumah had gone to the parliament to close up the parliament. He writes about it. When he had finished, his supporters, especially Kroboy Dusay, had told him that crowds had gathered outside Parliament House. And where it occurred is just outside Parliament House. That crowds had gathered outside Parliament House and they were waiting to hear from him. Nkrumah said that he was very tired and that he had been to the airport that day so many times receiving dignitaries. But Krobo and Kojo Botsio and Kisli Hayford compelled him to go and at least speak to the crowd. He said that when he got there, he was impressed with the kind of organization that Koboduse had put together. The police band was there, the Ghana flag and the British flag, everything was ready for him. It was the enthusiasm of the crowd that charged the man whose destiny had really come on that day, the 5th of March 1957. Everything in Nkrumah had arrived in the world. Nkrumah was sitting on top of the world. He had worked hard for it, and he had the power, the circumstance, and the pomp to match the occasion. And so he delivered a powerful extempo speech 67 years after the fact. We still watch that video, and it still looks like a video that can send you some revelation. It's a video that can send you some power and that can give you some hope. So that's what happened. And it was a rare spectacle for those who saw it. He arrived there without a prepared speech. He was told that the crowd is there, say something to them. And then he started prophesying everything, that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. All of that happened on the night. So by that night, independence had already been won in 1956. What we were waiting for in 1957 was a date. So on 31st December 1956, almost every Ghanaian knew that Ghana is independent. And the date is going to be 6 March 1957 because you needed a date for invitation cards to go out for the preparation of this is a big event, the first African country to be independent. There are about 10 balls, presidential balls occurring in the night. The American vice president was coming. The British colonial authority was coming. They don't come from 5th March to 6th March. We don't decide that on the 5th of March. And then on the 6th of March, we have everybody in the country. I think that's something that as children, we never even thought about. And so we always thought Nkrumah had done the Declaration of Independence. No. He didn't do a Declaration of Independence. Independence had been given in September of 1956. And the timetable had taken the independence date to 6th March, which was selected by our parliament because Dr. Dankwa had said that 6th March was the day on which the bond of 1844 was signed. So at every 6th March, every epochal 6th March, it's important for us to relook at our relationship with the colonial authority. So 6th March was chosen so that we'll have a proper start of the bond of 1844 and the end of the bond of 1844. That's why the date of 6th March was chosen. It was selected by J.B. Dankwa. The date of 6th March and the name Ghana were both selected by Dankwa. All the accounts show it. So that's not something to talk about. But here's Aden Clark and Nkrumah. Let's get to the account and see what is in it. So Nkrumah begins. It was Monday, the 17th September. I had a please viewers, keep this date in mind. It's very, very important. The date of the 17th September that Nkrumah writes is important because he's going to use this date to calculate his birthday. And we are going to see that in his autobiography, published in 1960, Nkrumah gave the date of his birthday. But then we come to Ghana in 2010 and we're choosing a date to celebrate Nkrumah's birthday. And then TR Minister brings 21 September, which is wrong because Osagyefo didn't say that his birthday is 21 September. He said what day his birthday is. You see it. It was Monday, 18 September. I had a full morning's work ahead of me and I was going over my diary of appointments. Suddenly, there was a ring from the telephone that connected me direct with the governor. Good morning, Prime Minister, he said Sir Charles. Quote, Prime Minister is talking. I just wanted to tell you that I had received some good news for you. I wondered if you could come up and see me for a few minutes when you are free. Okay, very nice conversation. Nkrumah speaks. Yes, certainly, Sir Charles, I said. As I hurriedly scanned through my appointment, Nkrumah continued. I'm afraid this morning is pretty hectic. Will 3 o'clock this afternoon be all right? I believe the governor said yes, and then we cut the story and continue. Nkrumah says, I arrived at the government house promptly. If there had been any doubts in my mind as to the contents of the message that was awaiting me, the look of pleasure on Sir Charles's face as I entered his office swept it away at once. He shook my hand firmly and warmly, and then handed me a dispatch from the Secretary of State. Now let me just put some context to that. So they said Charles Noble Aden Clark. His office is at the present-day Ministry of Interior. You see why history is beautiful. Sir Charles Aden Clark is sitting at the Ministry of Interior. That's his office. The Prime Minister is keeping an office at he has one office at, you know, that building that used many years ago used to be American Embassy. It's now the office of the Minister for Gender. That is the Prime Minister's office. That place, that building. Buzia also, not the same building, but that area, that spot. Buzia also used as Prime Minister in 1969. That was Nkrumah's office as Prime Minister, leader of government business. At that time, he was setting up Flagstaff House, which is today Jubilee House. So a call comes from Sir Clark, from Ministry of Interior, it's almost a walking distance, up to where Nkrumah's office is. And he says that, I'm busy, Governor. I'll see you at 3 o'clock. All right. So he arrived in the governor's office. And the governor took his hand. The story continues. As Nkrumah was reading the dispatch, he says, when I reached the 5th one, however, the tears of joy that I had difficulty in hiding blurred the rest of the document. After a few minutes, I raised my eyes to meet those of the governor. For some moments, there was nothing either of us could say. Perhaps we were both looking back over the 7 years of our association, beginning with doubts, suspicions, and misunderstandings, then acknowledging the growth of trust, sincerity, and friendship. And now, finally, this moment of victory for us both, a moment beyond description and a moment that could never be entirely recaptured. Prime Minister, the governor said, as he extended his hand to me, this is a great day for you. It is the end of what you have struggled for, unquote. It is the end of what we have been struggling for, Sir Charles. I corrected him. You have contributed a great deal towards this. In fact, I might not have succeeded without your help and cooperation. This is a very happy day for us both. I shall never forget that night, Nkrumah continues. How I was going to keep that store of dynamite in my chest without exploding, I just didn't know. People came as usual, as they talked as usual, but not once could I forget that vital information. Usually, nothing can prevent me from sleeping, Nkrumah says. During the very worst crisis of my life, I've always managed to escape from realities by laying my head on a pillow and drifting into a deep sleep. But on this night, I lay for a long time sleepless, while the whole story of my life passed before me like some kind of pageant. I saw myself as a boy in Nzima, as a proud scholar in Achimota, as a struggling student at Lincoln. I saw myself in London, where my studies gave way to politics, my return to the Gold Coast, the struggles that ensued both from within and without, detention, positive action, imprisonment, my final acceptance as a politician, events which were only the beginning of bigger and bigger struggles and intrigues. Then, after almost 10 long years of it all, those few words that represent the end of the road, the end of what has sometimes seemed to be a never-ending struggle, just a few words on paper handed over to me quietly by the man who had both imprisoned and released me and who had since afforded me every encouragement in my arduous task. Quote, the 6th of March, I said to myself, the 6th of March, the 6th of March. This day will never be forgotten. The 6th of March, Independence Day. We'll be jolly, merry, and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day, Ghana. Okay, let's move on. The day following the news was my 47th birthday. This is my problem here. Nkrumah wrote it in 1960. He said, the day following this was my 47th birthday. He was talking about 17th September. Then he says, the day after was my 47th birthday. Why is the Interior Minister of 2009? Go and bring him. He doesn't read books. Why? Why is he embarrassing us? So if you go abroad as a Ghanaian student and they ask you, Kwame Nkrumah, I say, oh, we have a birthday for Kwame Nkrumah. And they said, oh, okay, that must be 18 September. He said, no, it's 21st. Say, but why? The man said he was born on 18. Why is your country celebrating another day? That's embarrassing. This is Nkrumah writing. This book was published in 1960. You want to hide something from a black man, they say, put it in a book. You want to hide something from a black man, don't put it in the bush. We will go to the bush. Don't put it in the sea. We will swim to the sea and get it. Don't put it on the field. We'll find it. Put it in a book. We will never read it. May that not be our story anymore. May that not be our portion anymore. May we change. May our testimony be dramatically different. This is Kwame Nkrumah writing. The day following this news was my 47th birthday. I woke up early in spite of a restless night and stared at myself in the mirror. Quote, is it possible that all men feel as young as I do on their 47th birthday? I ask my reflection. Nkrumah was a very interesting character. Very, very interesting personality. I always tell people who are close to me that it's such a pity that we didn't meet Nkrumah. Because if you calculate Nkrumah's age, if he could have been alive, I saw Gbedema. I saw Gbedema in court. His foreign finance minister. I saw him in court. Gbedema. He was always there. In 96, Gbedema was there. Nkrumah died in 1972, I believe, at the age of 62. If you add 20 years to that, in 62, that's 82. So he would have been what? 82. If you add 10 years to that, he would have been 92. At least the people who started journalism in the 80s, Kofi Kumsin and Kweku Sechiado, and they would have interviewed Nkrumah. It was such a tragedy that they took him from us. Yes, they did. They took him from us. I don't know who did, but they did. All right, let's move on. So he said, I asked my reflection. When I had dressed, I went downstairs to greet my mother. Somehow, I seem to find less and less time to see her these days. And although she understood and never complained, the fact nevertheless worried me. She noticed that I was restless and keyed up, but she made no comment. What an excellent wife. Nkrumah talks about his mother. Says, what an excellent wife she must have been. Okay, that's interesting. I thought to myself, no questions, no hints, no suspicions. Nkrumah is interesting. Oh, he's saying something. Kwame Nkrumah is saying something very interesting. He's looking at his mother. He says the way his mother behaves, his mother would have made an excellent wife. What is the behavioral pattern of the mother that would have made an excellent wife? Nkrumah is a marriage counselor. He says, no questions. Please, wives, Nkrumah says no questions. Kwame Nkrumah, he's the one, he's talking marriage counseling in the book here. He says, no questions. Don't ask any question. That's a good wife. Then next item of a good wife, next character of a good wife, Nkrumah says, no hints. Don't do hints. Don't give hints. All those things. Don't do it. That's Kwame Nkrumah's manual for a good marriage and a good wife, please. It's not me, it's Nkrumah. Then he says, no suspicion. Even if you see a text message, don't suspect anything. Maybe you see a video small, don't suspect anything. That's what Nkrumah is saying. I don't know why the men are saying amen to that. No, that's not what the Bible says, man. Get it straight. Okay, all right. End of the joke. Let's get on to the story again. Nkrumah continues. My intention was to make my announcement to the assembly at midday, the same time as the news will be broadcast in the United Kingdom. And viewers, I'll explain in a little bit what this meant. The letter that Nkrumah got from the governor. It was a dispatch from the Secretary of State, a letter written to the governor that the governor then forwarded to him, which is for the attention of the speaker. I'll explain in some detail what that was. All right. So he says that my intention was to make the announcement at the assembly at midday, the same time as the news was being broadcast in the United Kingdom. I had previously arranged with the speaker that since I had an important announcement to make, he, the speaker, would permit me to take the floor as soon as I stood up. I was so anxiously watching the minutes pass between 11:30 and midday that I took no interest in the debate that was going on. I like the honesty of the Prime Minister. A bit of Nkrumah looks like Akufo-Addo to me, a little bit. The kind of honesty. He says that he wasn't paying attention to the thing they were saying. This is the Prime Minister, and normally he should pay attention to everything. But he says in the book that, look, I wasn't listening, I was waiting for my independence announcement. Very, very, very interesting book, and all students should get it. Get that book so that it goes to Samia Nkrumah can get the money. It goes to PANAF and Samia Nkrumah get. Buy that book, Nkrumah's autobiography. You have to get it. It's amazing. And if you don't have enough, PANAF are printing it. So if Samia Nkrumah is listening, tell her that we want more of her father's biography. All right. He says, I was so anxiously watching the minutes pass between 11:30 and midday that I took no interest in the debate that was going on. I was so keyed up that I simply didn't know how to contain myself, he says. As soon as the hands of the clock reached 12, I stood up. The speaker interrupted the discussion. There was dead silence in the house, and members looked up expecting me to raise some point of order or to contribute something to the matter being debated. Before I spoke, I looked at my watch. It was 3 minutes past 12. I took a deep breath and prepared myself for the most triumphant moment of my life. Quote, he begins, Mr. Speaker, I said, with your permission, I should like to make a statement. With effect from midday today, the publication of 2 dispatches of vital importance to the future of our country has been authorized. I paused for the cheers to die down. Then he continued. They are, I continued, Osajefo speaks, the dispatch from the governor at the request of my government to the Secretary of State, asking him to declare a firm date for the attainment of independence by the Gold Coast, and the Secretary of State's dispatch in reply thereto. Copies of these 2 dispatches will be distributed to honorable members as soon as the House rises today. I then proceeded to read the statement from the Secretary of State. In this dispatch, the Secretary of State, recalling his statements in the House of Commons on 11th May, noted that a general election had now been held, that the Convention People's Party had been returned to power with a majority of over 2/3, and that the motion for independence has been passed in the newly elected assembly by 72 members to none. The opposition members having absented themselves from the debate, the whole of the assembly was for a few seconds dumbfounded. Then, all at once, the almost sacred silence was broken by an ear-splitting cheer. Cheers that must have been unprecedented in the assembly. Some were too deeply moved to control their tears. Among them, some of my closest associates, those who had really felt the brunt of the battle and who perhaps realized more forcibly the true meaning of the word victory. I then continued and read to the House the Secretary of State's reference to the Trust Territory of Togoland and the plebiscite that was conducted there, which had resulted in a clear majority vote in favor of union with an independent Gold Coast. The Trusteeship Council of the United Nations passed a resolution in July noting that the will of the majority of the inhabitants was for a union with independent Gold Coast and recommending that steps should be taken for the trusteeship agreements to be terminated upon the attainment of independence by the Gold Coast. Now, let me just say something here. So this is sort of buttressing the point that 1957, 6th of March, was not a dramatic date. It was a date that was expected. It was a date that was planned. So because even the plebiscite that occurred for Trans-Volta Togoland, for Volta region to be part of Ghana, that plebiscite was done on the basis that, do you want to join independent Gold Coast or do you want to remain as a trans territory? Now, at the time the question was put, Gold Coast was not independent. If you look at the documents, because Gold Coast independence is March 1957. But because the British Parliament had accepted the independence of the Gold Coast and were only lining up a timetable, which we will show you today. We'll show you the timetable of the British Parliament today on this screen. Because of that, they knew that Gold Coast was going to be independent. So what happened on 5 March and 6 March was not dramatic. It was largely expected. And that's not when independence was won. That was only the day of the commemoration of the independence. That's a symbolic day that things are handed over. That's not the day that so it's like the president wins the election on the 7th of December. He's sworn in on 7th January. He didn't win the election on 7th January. He won the election on 7th December. By the time he was going for the election on 7th December, he knew that if he wins, he'll be sworn in on 7th January. Very similar to that situation. So independence was not won on 6th of March 1957. The commemoration of independence was done on 6th of March 1957. Independence was truly won the day the British Parliament passed it. That was September 1956. Let's get some more details. Okay. So the agreement was terminated, provided that this solution is endorsed by the General Assembly of the United Nations. Appropriate action will be taken to include the territory of British Togoland within independent Gold Coast. Nkrumah continues. Cheers greeted the deputy leader of the opposition as he stood and welcomed the statement on behalf of the opposition. This is an interesting part of the history as well. We have been told that some people didn't want independence and all. This is Nkrumah on the day announcing that the dispatch from the Secretary of State has come. And the deputy leader of the opposition he talks about is S.D. Dombo. S.D. Dombo, the man whose name is on his name is on one of the schools. Tonight we're doing independence, so I won't go there, don't worry. But S.D. Dombo, whose name you'll be hearing these days, Dankwabuzia Dombo tradition. That's the one Nkrumah is referring to. He is the one who rose up, the deputy leader of the opposition, as he stood and welcomed the statement on behalf of the opposition. S.D. Dombo it was. All right, let's move on. Then the whole assembly went wild with excitement. I was suddenly whisked off my feet and carried shoulder high into the streets where the masses were jubilating, singing, and dancing to the strains of the party song, There is Victory for Us. Congratulations poured in by telephone, telegram, cable, and letter, to say nothing of the hundreds of personal callers. It was a wonderful feeling to know that the thousands of people from all corners of the world were rejoicing in our great victory. I thought that it would be a nice gesture if I and my ministers paid an informal visit to the governor to share with him the victory that he had helped us so much to secure. At 5:30 that afternoon, therefore, we all went to the castle where the governor was waiting to receive us. It was a most happy occasion. All right. The whole country was celebrating. That evening, a friend of mine arrived from Kumasi and excitedly related to me how the news had been received there. Kwame, he said, you should really have been there. As sure as I'm standing here, Kwame, the supporters of the NLM were more wild with excitement than even the CPPists. It's another interesting account in Nkrumah's biography. It is reported to Nkrumah by one of his friends, he doesn't mention his name, that the supporters of the National Liberation Movement, Ochami Akoto and his group, Dr. Usefri Akoto's father, Ochami Akoto and his group, who were supporting the NLM, when they heard that the colonial secretary had agreed on independence, they went wild with jubilation in Kumasi. That's not what we have heard, have we? All right, but this is Nkrumah writing. He says, many of them, not content with a single freedom salute, raised both hands in the air as they yelled freedom. What a day it had been. How could anybody have wished for a more wonderful way of celebrating one's birthday? Let's move on. On the following day, now he says, on the following day, 19 September, I made a further statement to the House. I pointed out that with the promise of our independence on the 6th, so please viewers, look at the words Nkrumah used. He said, I pointed out to the House that with the promise of our independence on the 6th of March 1957, the last phase of our struggle had been reached. It was a promise. Independence was promised because the British House of Commons had passed it. And we had chosen 6th of March. But of course, between then and when the 6th of March happens, you really don't know what will happen. It's like the example I'm giving. President wins elections in December. Between then and January, you really don't know what will happen. But we all expect that on 7th January, the president, the declared winner of the election, will be sworn in. So that's how Nkrumah, that's the words Nkrumah used. A promise of our independence on 6th of March. The last phase of our struggle had been reached. We have reason, Mr. Speaker, this is Nkrumah speaking, to be proud as well as thankful that this historic declaration has at last been made, I said. And I was happy to hear the assurance given yesterday by the deputy leader of the opposition that the opposition welcomed the Secretary of State's announcement. On the 113th anniversary of the bond of 1844, that's the point I was making about 6th March, as compared to 1844, and Dankwa provided it. On the 113th anniversary of the bond of 1844, which led to Britain's political domination of the Gold Coast, our country would be free. Since I had dedicated myself to bringing our struggle for independence to an end when I returned home in 1947, I had been heartened by the loyal and loyal support of the people and sustained by the steadfastness and unwavering courage of the Convention People's Party. We were, as the Secretary of State has said, at a turning point in the history of the Gold Coast. I said that the Assembly would wish to know what the government's intentions were at this point. We are determined to play our part in drafting a constitution which will satisfy the genuine aspirations of every lover of freedom. The government proposes that this Assembly shall have ample opportunity to debate and determine our constitution. To this end, the government will, at the earliest practicable opportunity, publish a white paper setting forth the detailed provisions of the proposed constitution. I think that is beautiful and that is fantastic. That is Kwame Nkrumah's account of the events leading up to the Independence Day celebration. This is sometime around the time that the dispatch came in 1956. So we'll get to the story about what happened at Independence. So this is our first story for tonight. There are two more other stories if we can get them, if our time will help it. So I want to take text messages, but let's go and watch the 7.5 minutes introductory dance that we did. And then after that, we'll take the text message. We are celebrating Independence tonight. We can play a bit of Owari over here. Yeah, the Owari. Yes. Please, those of you who don't know how to play Owari, it's when it's Ghana month. That's the only game we play. All right. Let's see our entry video, and then we come back to the studio.
This day will never be forgotten. The 6th of March 1957, when the Go-Go successfully get their independence officially. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day.
The battle has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever.
He endeavored continually to bring us freedom and liberty.
The Progress Party supports wholeheartedly a policy for the Ghananization of the economy of Ghana.
Our flag is a lovely scene with beautiful colors, red, gold, and green.
The PMP says no to scarcity. The PMP says no to indignities. The PMP says no to humiliation. The PMP says no to all that has been negative in our national life over the last 30 years.
We'll be jolly, merry, and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We'll be jolly, merry, and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day. This day will never be forgotten. The 6th of March 1957, when the Go-Go successfully get their independence officially. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim.
Wait a minute. When we win, I want the victory to be for every Ghanaian, no matter which party they are in.
He endeavored continually to bring us freedom and liberty. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry, and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day. Our flag is a lovely scene with beautiful colors, red, gold, and green. With a black star in the center, representing the freedom of Africa. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim. We'll be jolly, merry, and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day.
The past 2 years or so, about 30 women, 5 women have been killed, and that's what the trace of the pulpit. The police are there. Ghana has got some very bad police. And the sense of Samoa, the lawyer, senior lawyer. But when it comes to the Constitution, in the Constitution, we are in a position to tell it.
What the Electoral Commission is doing is in accordance with the Constitution. There's nothing wrong about it at all.
The 6th of March 1957, when the Go-Go successfully get their independence officially. Ghana is the name. Ghana. We wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry, and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day.
From our forces, Nkrumah, so many Nkrumah, what is he saying? Yeah, but sister, no. Wakata no you, Wakata no more. Wamachake me.
The national flag is a lovely scene with beautiful colors, red, gold, and green. With a black star in the center, representing the freedom of Africa.
Let everybody get up early on Sunday and go and vote. And vote for a better Ghana. Vote for a better man. Vote for prosperity for all. And vote for equal opportunities for all. And let the people of Ghana reclaim Ghana. May God bless you all. Thank you.
This day will never be forgotten. The 6th of March 1957. When the Go-Go successfully get their independence officially. Ghana is the name. Ghana. We wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry, and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day.
Atami to mama and DC double. Atami say NDC double to mama and DC.
Freedom and liberty. Ghana is the name. Ghana. We wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry, and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day.
I am neither an Abudu nor an Andami. I am an Abudami.
With a black star in the center, representing the freedom of Africa. Ghana is the name. Ghana. We wish to proclaim. We'll be jolly, merry, and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day. Ghana is the name. Ghana. We wish to proclaim. We'll be jolly, merry, and gay. The 6th of March, Independence Day.
I, Nkrumah, do solemnly swear that I will well and truly exercise the functions of the high office of President of Ghana.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Dr. Kofi Busia, by the grace of God, Prime Minister of the Second Republic of Ghana, and request all manner of persons to recognize and acknowledge him as such.
The service and well-being of the people of Ghana, and to do right to all in this manner of service.
That I will uphold the sovereignty, the integrity of Ghana.
That I will preserve, protect,
and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. So help me God.
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and true to the Republic of Ghana.
and true to the Republic of Ghana.
Protect and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
The Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And that I dedicate myself to the service and well-being of the people of the Republic of Ghana.
To the service and well-being of the people of the Republic of Ghana.
That I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana.
and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana
as by law established.
As by law established.
Welcome back to the show. It's always a pleasure to bring you the show. We have so much to share with you. We just shared with you Dr. Nkrumah's own testimony. Now, we also have Dr. Dankwa's testimony, and we have David Rooney and a few others. But we can roll it over as March Ghana Month starts, thanks to City TV and City FM. We all now say Ghana Month, and all media is producing stuff. I hope we are copying them well. City FM, are we copying you well? We copy you. We're copying you. Ghana Month is a good idea. We all follow in that situation. Okay, we told you about Dr. Baumia and Moses Fuamoni celebrating together Moses Fuamoni's 60th birthday. I should say, did I say 80? Moses will live to be 100, not 80. So I said I was going to show that. I'll show that in a minute. But let me just take the text messages from what we have seen and what you are telling us. Fatih, what are they saying?
Okay, so Entry Gideon says, so beautiful and a very educative program tonight. Such a great show. Good evening, Ghana, indeed. Frank also says, brilliant presentation. Keep it up, Paul. Now, Wiz Young also says he needs this biography of Kwame Nkrumah. Emmanuel Entry says, good evening, Paul. Great presentation by all standard. I can't afford to miss your lectures and enlightenment. Yasser from North Gonja says, good evening, Paul. Your show has a unique ability to simplify complex ideas and present them in a way that's easily understandable for people from all walks of life, whether it's about current affairs, historical events, or scientific concepts. The program excels in making information accessible and engaging. Moreover, Paul, your show addresses crucial issues plaguing society today, sparking meaningful conversations and encouraging viewers to think critically about the world around them by shedding light on various social, political, and cultural issues. Good Evening Ghana has played an essential role in raising awareness and promoting important topics. May Allah bless you, Paul, and bless your team too. Thank you. Stella Marco says, good evening, Paul, and your amazing team. I enjoyed listening to your program, and I'm also learning a lot of new stuff. Thank you. Now, Anita says, please, Paul, I want the Momone powder. Happy Independence Day to you all. And then lastly, Solomon also says, the infusion tea, I'm having it at my table right now. What do you have for us, Antoinette? Okay, so Paul is still collecting all the accolades on the brilliant presentation on the happenings that led to the independence. We have the likes of Gordon Jima, who says, in fact, the show has no co-equal. And Jonathan Ni Ayibotre reiterates it and says the show has no co-equal as well. Dustin Kun says the best history teller is Paul Adom Autry. We have an independence wish from Francis Abaku. He says, happy independence to my beloved country, Ghana. My only problem is we are still behaving as babies, even though we are 67 years old. This is so sad. Our leaders are not helping us at all, even though we have a lot of the natural resources than America dreams of. It is so sad. Let us pray for a better future and direction. Joe T seems surprised about the original birthday of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He says, wow, what a shocker. September 18th was Nkrumah's birthday. I think the NDC got it wrong. Idris Oj also says, so 21st September isn't Nkrumah's birthday. It means that I do not share the same birthday with Nkrumah any longer. Now we have a few people in the likes of Sayyid Kamal. He says, Paul, you do it all. And Nana Addo says, Paul, JB Dankwa did not give the name Ghana. JB came up with Akan land and Nkrumah refused. Okay. And lastly, Warfire says, great presentation. Nana Malfo Apia also says, great presentation. Now let's hear from our sponsor, Lifts and Elevators Ghana. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say, but as humans, aging and physical infirmity stand our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in and day out. But worry no more, because with portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, you are sure of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It is a simple-to-use, self-supported elevator for vertical movements of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility to choose from. You may call it luxury, but it is a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home or offices. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days with modification to your building. Visit Lifts and Elevators Ghana at Sakumono for your solutions and free consultations. Call us now on 0200-535-515, 0200-535-515, or email us at elevatorsgh@gmail.com.
Okay, just before you come in, there's a text here. I'll come back to you in a minute. It says, good evening, Paul. I'm chuffed this evening because Nkrumah Boni was my mom's grandmother. My mom's grandmother's brother from Osu. I'm writing a book on my mom's history and will definitely include this presentation of yours. It says, please don't mention my name. Oh, I see. Simon, the Dean of the Press Corps in Parliament, is watching. Simon, thank you very much for watching all the time. Okay, let me come back to you for the last, for your text messages before Mikael.
Okay, so Samuel Ovosuba is saying the next 7th person could have been Nkrumah Boni because he was the initiator of the fanatical February riots. Michael Blay says it's supposed to be R.S. Blay. Joseph Ohinede says, happy 76th Independence Day to Ghana. We have Solomon Na Azu saying that rally was held at Polo Ground. Seydou Kamal says, Paul, you are a blessing to this country called Ghana, from Kamal, Bolga, Atlantic.
I think I've seen the Big 7 being settled, though. People sent me something. I think I agree with that. I don't know what you guys think, but it says the Big 7 should be Park Grant, for sure. I think it's Park Grant. If we want to couch a Big 7, I believe that it is Grant. Why? Because Grant is the initiator of the Big 6. And when we get to the next level, maybe Thursday, I'll show you the other documents. You'll see it in there. But we are going to build Ghana Month. What do we have? Just history. So we'll be sharing history with you. Political history especially is coming to you all of this Ghana Month. Are you done with your text message? Please go ahead.
From Francis Abaku. Happy Independence Day to my beloved country, Ghana. My only problem is we are still behaving as babies even though we are 67 years old. This is so sad. Our leaders are not planning on helping us at all, even though we have a lot of natural resources even America dreams of. It's so sad. Let's pray for a better future and direction. And from our sponsor, NIBS Future Ready Leadership Summit. The future is here. Where is the leadership? The maiden edition of the Future Ready Leadership Summit is dubbed Reimagining Leadership in a World of Unrelenting Change. With very inspiring speakers such as Sir Sam Jonah, Dr. George Ejikum Donko, Professor Kweku Etiahinejima, and many distinguished speakers built to speak on the day. The summit will come off on the 13th of March 2024 at the Movenpick Ambassador Hotel at 8 a.m. For tickets of the event, kindly contact +233 267 349 147 or +233 244 202 949. Over to you, Angelo.
Okay, we've got Bernard Niafo Kwashi saying, count me in with the best show. Solomon Na on our earlier video says, great innovation broadcasting, happy anniversary to your dedicated young men and women, Mr. Ademotri. Martin Boydu says, Paul, unfortunately, ECG and Gridco have taken their power, so Buedu.
Okay.
No.
It says ECG have now.
So they've taken their power, so you can't watch today's Independence edition of Good Evening.
You can watch on Facebook.
From Kaswa. Yes, of course, you can catch us streaming live. Joseph Ifua both say happy 67th Independence. Stella says, I enjoy listening to your program. I'm also learning a lot of stuff. Thanks. Again, another Independence message from Anita saying she wants more money. Nana Usu lastly says, Nkrumah lives on. Indeed, he does anyway. Now, let me briefly speak to you about our friends from Armin Alternative and Betway. Armin, of course, as you know, being the first modernized herbal and homeopathy medicine in Ghana. They have trained and experienced medical practitioners from KNUST, it's tech, it's very, very good people. Combined with state-of-the-art medical equipment, you know every hidden ailment will be diagnosed with ease. Treatment will be given in absolutely no time. Now, they do offer consultation, counseling, and physiotherapy, homeopathy to treat most ailments. Now, please do note that your life is very, very precious, so secure good health with Armin Alternative Medical. You can do so finding us within the working hours of 7 a.m. through to 5 p.m., Monday through Saturday, and on Sundays, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Locate us at Klangon on the Lashibia Shaman Road near the Underbridge and call us on 0207-229-5050 or 0244-227-192. And of course, as always, with Armin Alternative, God is the healer. Now, our friends at Betway say, Charlie, the season is getting hotter, the odds are getting sweeter. Don't be left out in the action. Betway Top-Up is here to assist customers with easier deposit options. Look out for the top-up icon at the Momo vendor near you and deposit cash into your Betway account. Visit betway.com.gh and click on top-up or just call 055-292-3771 to be a vendor now. No charges on deposits. Bet the responsible way, and remember, no under 18 betting. Kwame, I'm talking to you. No under 18 betting. Terms and conditions do apply. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. As always with Betway, get way more. Back to you, Paul.
All right, so we're getting back onto the touch screen. No, before we go into the touch screen. So let me take a pause of our birthday, of our Ghana events. It's 11 o'clock. And pay tribute to Moses for a morning. Brother Moses turned 60. I already showed you the photographs not too long ago. And at the event, the special guest, so gratifying to Moses, was Vice President Alhaji Mahamadou Bawumia. This is Dr. Bawumia at Moses Fuamoni's event. Have a look.
From age 31 to age 40,
I'm very proud to call lawyer Moses Fuamoni a friend. He's really an amazing man when you consider the body of work that he has accomplished in these last 60 years. It is quite phenomenal. He is, yes, a lawyer, but he is also an academic. He was president of the Ghana Boxing Association, has interest in football. And for me, the most important of all of his accomplishments is also president of the Boys Brigade Council of Ghana. With Boys Brigade, he and I share something because we were both brigadiers. And so whenever we meet, we talk about how to expand the brigade in Ghana. And I must say, under his leadership, the brigade is expanding very quickly in Ghana. And I want to thank him for that. When you look at, what I like about Moses Fuamoni is that he is someone who is serving God. He's not a politician, he's serving this country. And so you see in him, the values that the brigade taught us all these years ago. He's an honest man, he's a trustworthy man, he's a caring man, a very inspirational man, a very disciplined man. No wonder he is sure and steadfast and is very, very amazingly successful. Because he has made Christ his anchor, and he is been very successful in many things that he has done. And I want to congratulate you. The battles have not been easy. The battles you are fighting are not easy battles. But he is very clear in what he wants to do for Ghana. He has done a lot for Ghana already. He has trained so many lawyers, including the new majority leader, his good friend, Alex Afenyo-Mark, and many others such as Nkrumah and many, many ministers. He has done a lot for Ghana, and we want to appreciate him and thank him. But it's very clear that with God at the center of his life, the celebration that we are having this evening is a testament to his placement of God at the center of his life. We are not having a big party of dancing and singing and eating. We are here in the church to thank God for his life and for his accomplishments. This is how he has chosen to celebrate this. And I'm not surprised he chose Psalm 103 as part of the scripture reading, to thank God for what God has done for him. We are very, very grateful for him. And because he has chosen to serve God and to serve God, I know that that cannot be easy for his family. That cannot be easy for his wife and children, because you are sharing him with the rest of the country. Many, many hours that he has to spend helping others and not necessarily being at home all the time. I think you will understand that it is for the greater good, because he is serving God and he is serving this country. I am so happy to call him my friend. I ask you to continue the battles that you are fighting, no matter how controversial they are, because God is leading you and you will be successful by his grace. Thank you so much. God bless you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. God be with you. Thank you very much.
Can we say a very, very happy birthday to Brother Fo, Moses Fuamoni, the pioneering broadcaster for those of us who started watching broadcasting in the 80s. Moses was such a great inspiration when he was on television, particularly the 1990 World Cup. That's the one that people of my generation remember. He spoke so well, he spoke so eloquently. We heard that he was a lawyer, and many, many, many young people wanted to be lawyers because of Moses Fuamoni. For those of us who saw him growing up in Burma camp, we remember him as a Beku who went to Infantsipim, for which reason many of the young boys in the Burma camp community wanted to go to Infantsipim and to be like a Beku so they can speak English like a Beku. Later on, we found out that he was called Brother Fo in Infantsipim and at Legon. And then, of course, later at the law faculty, Professor Kumadu will continuously regale us with stories about his relationship with Moses Fuamoni when Moses was a student. Very, very great personality, very, very interesting brain and high-profile brain. Very great person to talk to and even to banter with. Moses has very excellent ideas, and he also is prophetic. Many people don't know that about him. Moses is very, very prophetic. I'll tell you more about that later. But that was Alhaji Mahamadou Bawumia visiting Moses Fuamoni's church to celebrate his 60th anniversary. Next on the show, though, is yet to be vetted Minister of State and the Ministry of Finance, Abena Osasa, revisited the exhibition of Ghanaian SME products makers at the Tuesday market event at the Ghana Exim building at the Continental Free Trade this morning. She was there, and our cameras were with her. This is what happened.
We at the Ministry of Finance can also do to support the growth of the private sector, to engineer growth and stabilize the economy, we will do. So if you would remember, or if you recall, the first thing the Minister of Finance said when he was appointed was the fact that he's going to focus on small and medium sized businesses, because he believes that this sector of the business are the right channels that we can use to stabilize the economy and also propel growth. So I'm very, very happy with what I'm seeing here. And the packaging is excellent. And Exim tells me the vendors have all been through quite a number of processes to see what we are seeing here. And so we'd like to congratulate Exim and tell them that we are behind them, we'll support them financially to make sure that they produce more of these small and medium size enterprises or businesses, because we believe that this kind of business is the engine of growth for our nation. And so I'm very happy, and this is my first time of being to such a fair. I still can't believe that some of the products I'm seeing here are actually being made here. And so we thank you for the support you have given to these vendors. We ask that you continue to support so that they can expand and we can see more of such businesses, and to want to help reduce the unemployment and also to propel the economy, because we believe that the private sector is the engine for growth in this country. The finance minister is going to work with all the various stakeholders, because there are various stakeholders along the chain. And so one has to do with financing and how we can support them with some level of financing so that they can also, in effect, grant some soft loans to these vendors. And again, training is key. Training is key. How can we support them to also train these vendors to make sure that their business process is robust and is fit for purpose? So it's also important that aside the financial support, we also help them with the training. And finally, we know Exim is doing a lot to sort of create that market for them. We also have to support Exim in that creation of the market, because as all said and done, these products need to be sold. And so that is another area that the minister is looking at. So in totality, anything that will support SMEs to grow and propel and make the economy more robust, that is what the minister is focused on. And that is why I'm here today, to have a first-hand feel of it and then to be able to report back.
At 11 minutes past 11, we're nearly down below an hour before we get to the stroke of midnight. And 67 years ago today, the Parliament of Ghana, which is where the Commission for Human Rights now sits, Parliament of Ghana was very, very busy. The presence of the Parliament was swelling up from 5 p.m. with supporters of the CPP who had come from the Western and Central regions to witness the independence celebration that occurred at the Accra Sports Stadium. It was the next day. Was it the Independence Square? I think it was Accra Sports Stadium, if you look at the videos. That occurred the next day with Nkrumah being sworn in. No, it wasn't. It was the independence celebration, Ghana receiving formally the independence from the Queen of England. A parliamentary event that then catapulted into Accra Sports Stadium, bigger event. Later on, there were many balls. But by this time, 67 years ago, everyone who is 87 now was, 27? So they are the people we should be talking to. Those who were 87, 88, 90. They're the people we should be talking to. But we should be doing well to document the things that happen from all the accounts that have been given. Maybe the University of Ghana History Department should take all the accounts that has been given, find place for all of it, and publish a proper historical document of the events preceding, during, and after Ghana's independence, for posterity to come and read it and have a fair sense of our independence. Every American child understands the American independence thoroughly. You only have to go to school up to stage 6 in America and you understand the American independence story. The Ghanaians don't understand. All we know about independence story is Kwame Nkrumah, which is great. But somebody, the university, the Ministry of Education should put together from all the accounts that have been rendered a proper account of Ghana's independence story. Okay, let's hear the text messages.
All right, so Nana Mafo Apia says Dr. Baumia embodies everything a leader should have: impeccable character, problem-solving mind, and a respect for others' opinion. His candidacy is a beacon of hope for our future and a better Ghana. Nana Yao says Dr. Baumia's credibility as a presidential candidate is validated by his impeccable character in problem-solving and respectful style of communication. Kudos to NPP for such a commendable choice. And lastly, George Abuga here says, superb presentation today, Paul. We are truly educated. Now, from our sponsor, Blue Jeans Energy Drink. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and tried. It is indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for bold and active men and women. So go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact Budget Cash and Carry Ltd on 0208 128 190 or 055 001 0000. Antoinette, what do you have for us?
Yeah, now on to the speech by Honorable Abna Osei Asari. Jude Omani Ej says, Etiwa East constituency is highly blessed to have you as our MP of Batampa, Honorable Abna Osei Asari. We are grateful for your continuous improvement of your people. Truly, you are an asset. You deserve to leave Etiwa East constituency again.
Okay, so Augustine is commenting on the products we have displayed. He says, seeing the various Ghanaian products, I can only admire the way Ghanaians are thinking now. We cannot change a winning team. It is possible. Mwanzong also says, we are really excited and proud of you, Sir Paul. That's it.
It's well on the point we were making earlier on industry knowing history. He says, Paul, you need to bring Kweku Dako Ankara on your show. He's a scholar at the University of Ghana Institute of African Studies. We also have Win Solomon, Joseph, Faustina, and Nanayao saying that they want us to continue the LGBT conversation. Anyway, Paul, to you.
Oh, yes. We haven't put those material on social media yet. Okay. We also are keeping an eye this year, 2024, on the American politics. For that reason, we are proud to report that Dr. Eche Sikanko is in the United States for us, and it will be reporting to us periodically. Tonight, the American election is running into a major event. There is a Super Tuesday, which means that many of the American states are holding their elections tonight. They are primaries, presidential primaries for both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Super Tuesday is a day that many states are voting. Usually after Super Tuesday, a clear pattern emerges. Donald Trump goes into Super Tuesday with a bit of a kick in his feet. He has enjoyed a Supreme Court ruling that compels Colorado to have Donald Trump on the ballot for Super Tuesday and compels every state in America to have Donald Trump on the ballot for Super Tuesday. There's a preliminary ruling ahead of the major ruling that is before the Supreme Court to make a determination whether a single state, some states, or even majority of the states can decide that a presidential candidate cannot compete for president in their state, whereas they are still members of the United States of America. That's a matter that's gone before the American Supreme Court. Let's take some of the videos HR sent us now. Now, the first one is an introductory video he sent us many days ago. He's been complaining that we have not used it, but today we have to use it. Now, here it is. This is how he introduced his coverage.
Hi everyone, this is Good Evening Ghana. My name is Eche Sikanku. We are coming to you live from the USA. We've come on the ground talking to people about politics in America, but also conversations about global democracy. We are presently here at the University of Maryland. We'll be speaking to experts, speaking to everyday Americans and many stakeholders as far as democracy, politics, and elections are concerned. Many countries in the world are going to have their elections this year. There are questions about the test to democracy. Does democracy still work for people? What are political institutions looking like? And are they really working for the people? One of the major conversations is also about the probable return of Donald Trump. He's won pretty much all the Republican primaries that have been held so far and looking like the presumptive nominee. But there's a lot of court cases swirling around him. So there's still concerns about whether he will really be the nominee. What would America look like with Donald Trump coming back? What will be the impact and its implications for the world? We also try to talk to young Americans in particular to get their views on politics and democracy and if it's really working for them. So this is really a broad conversation. Let us hear what you think as well, and we will be bringing you a lot of different interviews regarding different aspects of the democratic process. For Good Evening Ghana, HSC Kanku, live from Maryland, USA. This is Good Evening Ghana, coming to you live from Washington, D.C., the Capitol Hill. This is the House of Representatives, as you can see, a very major institution to American government in the political process. A lot of action, a lot of debates, a lot of deliberation going on over here. There are a lot of central issues to the economy, to policy happening right now in the U.S. Capitol, and we are here on the ground doing some on-the-ground reportage. We all know that America is predicated on various democratic principles, a major one of them including separation of powers, checks and balances, and deliberation. And so the House of Congress and the Senate, where the laws are passed, a lot of deliberation, contestation, debates taking place over there, and where the representatives of the people are located. So a very, very, very bustling and active center at the heart of American democracy. In fact, this really is the hub of American democracy, including the White House, of course. But a lot of action taking place in Congress, a lot of action taking place in the Senate. And as you know, the Supreme Court has also been a major battleground as the last place of resort for various issues of controversy and various issues of debate. So this was really significant to see the edifices and the physical manifestations of democracy. We were very fortunate as well. I was here on a day when Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, came to give a closed-door deposition. There is currently an impeachment inquiry going on Joe Biden. The Republican-led House of Representatives launched an impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden. It's been going on for a while now, and believe it or not, on the day that I was here, Hunter Biden had come to give a closed-door deposition. Of course, it was closed door, so there was a media hub and a media center. After the closed-door meetings, major personalities and congressmen on the committee that's doing this inquiry came to speak to the media. I need to say that one great observation is the way they organize this. So they have a section for the media with all the media equipment, the cameras, everything, all the big media houses. I think of any of them, ABC, CNN, all the major media houses in America were there, but it was very well organized. And so afterwards, the congressmen will come and speak to them. This impeachment inquiry is being overseen by the House Oversight Committee and the Judiciary Committee. After the closed-door deposition, the powerful chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Nkrumah, came to speak to the press and record the action.
Everyone in the media has been asking a lot of questions about. Something that I know that Mr. Biden and his attorney both demanded. As I said, when we said we were going to do the deposition first, we will have the public hearing next. So I think that the public hearing hopefully will clear up some discrepancies between some of the statements that were made in the associate than what we heard today. But all in all, I'm very optimistic. I'm very excited. Thank you,
Chairman of the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees, he just came here to give us an update. He said that the hearings are going to move on to the public stage. Here at the House of Representatives, there is a hearing going on the Hunter Biden case regarding the possible involvement of President Joe Biden in the businesses of Hunter Biden, and there are accusations that corruption might have taken place. Hunter Biden was here to give a deposition today behind closed doors, and it looks like it's over. And the update is that they are going to go to public hearings from now.
Members of the Democratic team who were also on the committee also spoke to the press, including Jamie Raskin and Eric Swalwell.
But if that's something that the parties agree to, we would have no objection to it, because I suppose the whole country can see what an absurd waste of time this service is.
Our border needs, Ukraine's needs, Taiwan's needs, the Middle East needs, and end this sham impeachment, which is going and has gone exactly where we've said all along.
We also had one very, very prominent person, Marjorie Taylor Greene, a very vocal and prominent member of the 118th Congress of the U.S. She's also on Donald Trump's vice presidential list. She came to speak as well.
Claim that the only person that has evidence of a bribe is being locked up in LA. Everyone needs to remember that his father is also president of the United States and is also head of the regime that is conducting the prosecution and witch hunt against all of his political opponents.
So all in all, it was good to see American democracy in practice. It was good to see the role of the media also being very, very important in transmitting live, real-time information to members of the public, and also to see the fourth estate, the media working in tandem with all the other realms of government. This was just the beauty of democracy in practice.
For Good Evening Ghana, this is HAC Kanko reporting live from USA, Washington, D.C. This is Good Evening Ghana. We are coming to you from Massachusetts, specifically from the city of Concord. We are here on the ground. Today is Super Tuesday, and we are having the primaries going on. It's the Republican primary, the Democratic primary, and the Libertarian Party. And we are here on the ground in a precinct, live and colored. This is the Commonwealth of Massachusetts presidential primary. So this is the Democratic Party official specimen. This is the Republican Party official specimen. This is the Libertarian Party official specimen. So, and it says here Concord. So this is it. I mean, that's the room where the voting is taking place, and people are coming in. You can see them coming. You can see them stand in the queue. You can see them voting. When they get in, this is the first place they go to, right? And then they come here. So this is very practical. This is very practical. We are here on the ground. It's the Republican presidential primaries. The Democrats are also having it. It's American democracy in practice. Really, really on the ground. Bringing you coverage over here. Thank you very much. And for Good Evening Ghana, HAC Kanku, Concord, Massachusetts.
And I on our Facebook page, Isha will be sending us some short reports, and then after Super Tuesday, we'll be publishing it overnight, and they will be loading it on our Facebook page. It's Good Evening Ghana, live from the United States, covering the American election. That will be on our Facebook page, so you can read up on it. All right. Thanks for watching. Soon, Ghana is 67. Tomorrow, we'll all be watching television in Koforidua, where the president will be hosting the independence anniversary celebration. I believe His Excellency the Vice President will be there as well. And the special guest of honor, we are told, is Alassane Ouattara, the victorious AFCON president from La Côte d'Ivoire. That promises to be a good one. Thanks for watching Good Evening Ghana. Happy Independence Day. Bye-bye.
TV. Insightful and inspiring moments.